What about self-belief and confidence? Is that an important part of life in cricket?
Yeah.
How confident are you every time you go out the bat? Not so confident. What happens after you've had a bit of a run of bad innings? You know, you got out a couple of times treatment. I need 2 more people to come up. So, self-belief, confidence. A little trick, a little method I'd like you to employ. Congratulations, these 2 boys just made the under-17 Australian side. Very good. I'm the coach of that side, because I was the coach of the ball throwing competition. What's your name? John. Well, I'm here to tell you, John, that is the worst display of cricket I have ever seen in my life. Just absolutely terrible. Now let me ask this question to the group. Am I being a very good coach?
Yeah.
Am I? Terrible coach, aren't I? I'm being a terrible coach because I'm not giving John any feedback. All I'm doing is rubbishing his performance in this trial that I've just played. How do you feel, John? Yeah. Beat off. Yeah. Understandably. You actually did play a shocker, but absolute shocker. Now, you 2 guys played together since under 10s, in this team together, you played all Riverview. What's your name? Pat, what are you going to say to John? Give him some encouragement. Keeping in mind, you can't lie to him. You can't lie to someone because he has had a bad performance.
Terrible coach, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I'm a good coach. What are you going to say? Forget me. What are you going to say to him? Your best mate, you've opened the batting since under 10s, and you've seen him perform really well over the years.
Work at what you're doing wrong, get better.
Yeah, what did you do wrong, mate? You've got to help him. You've got to give him some feedback. He was 2 10s, mate. 2 10s, okay. So that's one thing, he was 2 10s. Now what about his last few performances? How did he get into this squad? Batted well, yeah. Okay, what else? Talking up.
Playing freely and confident.
Yeah. Can everyone have a bad day? Yeah, okay. How do you feel now? Your best mate is talking like that. Good, okay. Sit down. What I want you to take out of that little exercise and role play is, as human beings, we are much tougher on ourselves than we need to be. When we've got a mate who's struggling or doing things tough, we tend to give them reassurance. But we don't want to do it to ourselves. When we perform poorly, we've got to look at all the negative. We don't want to look at the good things. The first thing I'd say to someone is, well, okay, how did you get picked into this squad? Oh, I've been playing really good cricket. I've been doing this, I've been doing that, I've been training hard. So get the person to remember all the good things that's been happening for them. We tend to focus on that one negative situation. He had been playing well. He had been doing this right. He had been doing that right. So remind yourself. So next time you're down on yourself and your self-belief and your confidence is waning, I would like you to think about, how would I talk to my best mate in this situation? Not how I talk to myself, how would I talk to my best mate? And then turn it around and talk to yourself that way. Because, as I say, we're kind to our friends, and we're easy to point out to our friends all the good things they can do. Because who is concerned about getting out in cricket? Does your self-belief go when you get out in cricket? No, good. That's the answer I wanted, because if your self-belief went every time you got out in cricket, we'd have no one playing. We have no one playing for Australia. The issue is not so much getting out, it's how you respond to it and what you do afterwards. And this is the secret for gaining success. If I say the word failure, to you, how do you feel?
Pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So we tend to throw in that word failure. And it's a hard word. So from now on, what I'd like you to do is start to think of, I didn't get what I wanted today, or I did get what I wanted today. Didn't get what I wanted? Okay. The 4 questions you need to ask yourself is, to gain success, you've got to give yourself feedback, is you've got to say, okay, how did things work out this way? What do I need to adjust? What do I need to do right now? And who do I need to find to help me? If it's a batting issue, you've got to find a batting coach. Bowling issue, a bowling coach. You've got to go back to your coaches, people that know your game. The trouble is, we're not honest with ourselves. We don't go and ask those questions. I'll give you an example. Little Johnny, under 16s, goes out to play cricket every Saturday morning. His mum loves to go and watch him play. She sits at square leg, behind the umpire, behind him. Johnny goes out, the first, third over, fourth over of the game, he's hit on the pads. Umpire gives him out LBW. By the time Johnny gets off the field, mum's there to greet him. As he comes off, mum says, oh, Johnny, stupid umpire, you weren't out LBW. And of course, mum can see, because mum's at square leg, and everyone knows, because that's the best place to see LBW. So okay, so Johnny's all right. So mum gives him a cuddle. He goes off the next week and he goes out the back, opening batsman, fourth or third over of the game, sit on the pads again. He's out of LBW. Luckily for Johnny, mum's there to greet him as he comes off the field. Stupid umpire, again, another stupid umpire, you weren't out of LBW. Let me ask you this, boys. Will Johnny ever stop getting out of LBW? No. Why? Sorry? He's not learning. John hasn't got a problem. Has he? John has not got a problem because it's the umpire's problem. The umpire is giving him out incorrectly. Until John says to his mum, Mum, I'm sorry, I know you love me, but I've got to go and see a batting coach and work out what I'm technically doing wrong. He's never going to move forward. This is the hard thing with self-belief and confidence. Unless you give yourself reason and feedback of what's happening and keep glossing over it and covering up, oh, it's a bad pitch today, oh, that bowler was just too good for me. Keep making up excuses and you're never going to go and play at that level that you would like to play at that highest level. So just remember, a few things there. When things are down, talk to yourself the way you would talk your best mate. Give yourself some encouragement. Think about the positives you've been doing, not the negatives. And also give yourself honest feedback. How do I get out of this situation? How do I get out of a slump? Because it doesn't matter whether you're Bradman or Ricky Ponting or Steve Waugh, you go through a period where you're not hitting the ball as cleanly or not letting the ball go as freely. And there could be 1,000 issues why that's happening. Until you break it down, you go through it, you're not going to know.